raise that a little bit. Yo, 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 howdy do, howdy do. Really have no idea if this microphone's working. I hope it is. I hope it is. But I'm not going to hold my breath on that. This is um, a new thing trying out here. And as anybody who knows me knows, I'm pretty illiterate when it comes to technology. But I have confession tonight. But I thought before I head over there, it would be good to talk about something that's been a little bit on my head, on my mind recently, and that's redemptive suffering. I think one of the most beautiful things about Christianity, and especially that of the Catholic faith, is that it offers a reason for our suffering that no other world religion or worldview can do. It's a reason for our suffering. Our suffering is unifying. It's sanctifying. Um, and if we look here at checking my sources here, checking my notes, but Matthew 10:38, whoever does not take up his cross and follow me is not worthy of me. Clearly, Christ's suffering is greater than anything we could ever possibly experience. And he doesn't just suffer for us, but his suffering is it's also an invitation in a way for us to be unified with him. Oftentimes, as people, I know myself, and so I'm speaking for myself here, but I imagine others probably share the sentiment. It's easy to forget that we really deserve our suffering. Hey, Nick. What's up, dude? That our suffering is necessary. We have to suffer. And we don't want to suffer, right? We're such weak people. We don't want to suffer. We want everything to just be perfect. We want to have bliss in every aspect of our life. We want to gorge ourselves on food. We want to, whatever. We're constantly stimulated in this world. We don't know how to reject ourselves. We don't know how to deny ourselves of anything. And that's very difficult. It's very, very difficult. We build up a bad habit of being pleased, of becoming used to pleasure, that it makes it very hard for us to just simply unite to Christ. And we have to learn to love the hardships that Christ gives us, even if they're very small and relatively insignificant things in the grand scheme of things. Everything he gives us for a reason, and it's we can offer it up for him. We can offer it up for him. One thing I struggle with a lot is, I have a lot of pride. I have a little bit of an ego, just naturally speaking. And so it really hurts a lot. Like if I hear other people maybe gossiping or about me or, making comments or something like that. And I remember, well, people talk bad about Christ. They badmouth Christ. Heck, they blasphemed him. And Jesus is perfect. He is perfect in every way. So if they would, if they'd be uncharitable towards him, how much more so do I deserve? I actually deserve, the pain and suffering for all my sins, and he didn't. He's perfect, and so if he went through it, how much more so should we be going through it? And if you are able to remember that in the moment, it makes it a lot more bearable, and it reminds you of all of his torments and everything, and you can be united to him. It'll sanctify you. It makes you bear those these insults. When somebody spits on you or what have you. You begin to start to bear it with joy because you're bearing this with Christ himself, with Christ and for Christ. And that's really a beautiful thing. Um, yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot recently. I feel like just one of those phases of life where things are pretty difficult. Just work is long, work is stressful. Early mornings, long days, um, and just a lot of things going on at once, and things have come up. People need things. Sometimes I feel like I'm divided so many different directions, and it's easy to lose sight of what we're really here for, which is to get to heaven. That's it. Literally nothing else matters. It doesn't matter what you do in this world if you don't get to heaven. That's it. For what does it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his soul? Literally doesn't. It does no good whatsoever, because this life is futile. It disappears, and not futile. Just is maybe not the right word for it, but it's temporary, and our devotion to God is eternal. And yeah, we need to remember that. We need to remember that we are dust, and to dust we shall return. There's some more thoughts. I had, well, one day at work, I was having a really bad day. It's loud. It's like I said, early mornings, long hours, and it was real hot and stuff, and some personal stuff in my life. I was just thinking about too much, and I happened to be listening to a talk by, I believe it was Friar Anthony of the Marian Friars Minor, and man, I'll tell you what, his talks just motivate me and get me right through the day. It's unbelievable. And man, it is basically on suffering, and like, why are we so scared to suffer? We should be like joyful in the fact that God gives us something to suffer for. For one, accepting what He gives you is an act of humility. And humility is a virtue. But two, we know that Christ doesn't give us anything without also giving us the grace to bear it. How beautiful is that? So if you're undergoing something, you know that Christ knows you have the strength um, to accept it. Right? It's a beautiful thing. And yeah, that was a large part of it. But again, he's talking about, when someone hits you, you know um, allow this unjust action to bring you to the foot of the cross, where they struck Christ. They whipped him, they lashed him, is the most violent and despicable thing that's humanly possible to do, the deicide. And he was perfect. He did no wrong whatsoever, and um, in all of that, he redeemed the world. So we actually sin. We actually deserve punishment. We deserve suffering, and even though we deserve it, God gives us a way for it to redeem us. Lost my train of thought there a little bit. Oh, yeah. So I was listening to Friar Anthony, and I started thinking of a phrase. I wanted something cool. They gave us little whiteboards at work, to put like motivating stuff on, and I put cum Christo suffero, or cum Christo, yeah, suffero, with suffer with Christ, basically. And it's like a reminder, or I suffer with Christ, rather. It's a reminder that all of your suffering, if you do it with Christ, it's very bearable. It's very bearable, and it allows you, facilitates your ability to grow in love, to grow in virtue, grow in patience, grow in humility, um, grow in charity. Most importantly, to grow in charity. Accept what Christ has given you and be grateful for it. You should be grateful for the suffering. And if someone talks bad to you, insults you, or maybe gossips about you, or says something bad behind your back, don't feel the need to defend yourself to them for multiple reasons. I mean, least of which is like, well, if you're not doing anything wrong, somebody who's talking bad to you or criticizing you unjustly, like, why should you really care about their opinion in the first place? But two, just allow it to bring you to Christ, right? Um, Christ didn't really defend himself, right? So, you know, whatever, right? Let's let's try to imitate Christ in all things. Alrighty, real short stream, only a few minutes, but I'd like to hear your thoughts. If you have any thoughts on redemptive suffering and how it's affected you and helped your life, or if you're going anything you need some prayers, let me know. I'd love to see some comments, some feedback, and everything. Or maybe I'm just completely off base altogether and I need somebody to correct me because I don't want to be a heretic or anything. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get off there, head to the chapel for confession. Guys, please pray for me, and I'll pray for y'all as well. Thank you. God bless.